you mentioned there's a lot of bloat that we can help remove. And that sort of takes me back to what we spoke about a little while ago, which is the automation piece and the ChatGPT. And I bring up ChatGPT because I've played with it and I'm very excited about it. It's definitely gotten my attention. And in one of your comments, Tej, I believe you mentioned that you have these bots, and sometimes people don't really want to deal with the bot; they want to deal with the person. I am one of those people, and that's mostly because the bot rarely solves my problem, right? It's okay. So I call, it might be a call center, it might be even an online chat forum, or, instead of calling and being on hold for however long, just because everyone is experiencing some issues with call centers, most companies now have this chat option where you can go and you can live chat with an agent. But first, you always go through this bot, and the bots honestly really frustrate me because I find them to be a waste of time, and they very, very rarely ever solve the issue. But now if I think about introducing ChatGPT, and Len and Tej, I think you both mentioned this earlier, but having that proper governance, security, and data to it, so that, the ChatGPT has, let's say, my account information. I'm having, I don't know, a billing issue. It has my account information. So it goes and it actually interacts with me. And if you introduce this, you can implement it on scale, where ChatGPT can go and deal with, 1,000 different inquiries at pretty much the same time. Instead of where one person, might be in their swivel chair and they have one chat here, one chat here, one chat here, and they're trying to get to all of them. Not very effective, not very time efficient, not the best client experience. So in that case, I think ChatGPT is something that could be very helpful. We've heard about smart bots before, but I think this can sort of take that to the next level and actually be smart instead of just be called a smart bot, if that makes sense.
It has the potential, right? So if you were to lose, throw a bunch of documents on the ground and let ChatGPT go at it, understand, contextualize the content, it can do that. But data in the financial services is protected by passwords, firewalls, et cetera, et cetera. So we would have to agree to some sort of ecosystem where it would be exposed to that data to then be able to interpret and understand before it can answer you. It will never have your password or your account number. So we'll have to figure out how to, for it to accept a request, know who to talk to send that information that you've just inputted and get the right answer for you. So it has potential for public domain content. So, I mean, the company that really should be challenged today are the search engines, right? Because do we really need those anymore? That gives you 10,000 responses and you got to figure out which one to read. Or will you use ChatGPT going forward because it gives you the more precise, your perception of what is the more precise answer. And so the application, I think, will, again, create the art of possible that we can probably borrow from to do delivery of financial services, and probably medicine as well, and even emergencies. And there's a plethora of places. Can you imagine pharmacies? You don't need to call and speak to someone. You can just ask once you've authenticated. So they've got to figure out a bunch of things like voice authentication, et cetera, on a go-forward basis to know that it is Tej that's calling. But I'm sure they'll get there in the potential. And there's no doubt, like sometimes these things have to happen as a playground that then creates sparks to go, wow, if I can take 5% of ChatGPT and apply to financial services, can I reduce my call center cost and agents, because now this has the capability to answer calls or inquiries smartly 24/7. I don't know if it does multiple languages yet. We'll need to figure that out in Canada, of course. But it has potential.
Well, it's really interesting that you said getting your account number, because something that I'm sure most people have experienced is sometimes when you call in, they will, via phone, they'll ask you, enter your account number followed by the pound sign, the hashtag sign, right? So there is already some type of authentication that's being built into some of this, smart bots and automation, so that the agent can more quickly perhaps already have your account on there before you even get to them. They
That's
can
right.
review it. So we are already making progress
Correct.
in that direction in some sense.
Sure. One of, and to be honest, I'm not sure who it is. One of the service providers I use in my personal life, they have a voice recognition for me. I think it's one of the telecom companies. I remember doing it. And so they have a voice recognition that authenticates who I am and all the stuff. They still ask you a question or two when they get there. I think we talked about this. It's all about the art of the possible. Back to my earlier point, I think the financial services industry is going to lag a bit. I'm with you, Libna. If I sign in, I have a default. I'd rather not call. I'd rather chat, but only if it's a live chat. If I hit chat and a bot comes up, I close it and I phone. Because those bots, the smart bots aren't going to get you where you need to go. If it's a live chat, I don't mind doing that because it allows me to multitask and do other things and not be stuck on hold. But I think whether it's chat or GPT or AI or ML, right? Like I think as we look to the financial services and we look at where we've been as an ecosystem and an industry, there's a ton of data out there, right? How do we enable our clients to best leverage and use the tools and the data that are out there, right? So whether it's chat, and those things are great, they're a servicing tool, but maybe it's an AI thing where we start looking at machine learning and AI to enable our asset manager clients to have a better forecast or prediction of what their client behaviors are going to be and where they're going to go. So I think we are on an early stage front of really understanding how that's going to apply within the financial services space. CGI certainly has got lots of emerging technology type capabilities, whether it be automation, AI, machine learning. We've done some sort of pilot proof of concept type activities around looking at those. But I really do think that bringing us a little bit full circle, you can't get there sitting on a legacy old technology. And that's why we talk about, the modernization of platforms being the underpinning and CGI strength there. But that's the underpinning, because once you do that, then you can layer in the fun, sexier stuff. I talked about the unsexy world of the back office, but AI, machine learning, everybody wants to talk about how we're going to layer that in and how you're going to do that. Very, very hard to do on old legacy tech. So I think that's really about where it unlocks. And that's the journey we need to take our clients on. We already have done it for our own IP. So we're already starting to look at how do we, now that we've unlocked that, what's the next step?
Yeah. There's a great client story of some work we did around AI to help with reducing errors. And it was fascinating, the potential human errors by observing behavior and time of day, et cetera. So we know the potential at CGI. We're using it today with our clients based on their needs. And we love the innovation of ChatGPT, and I can't wait to see how it evolves. But I don't think it's ready yet for us in this space.
Well, I just heard about it a few weeks ago, so it's still very new and it's gaining a lot of traction.